What's going on YouTube? So in today's video, I'm going to be taking the Shelby to the alignment shop. It's a new shop I haven't gone to. I was looking for shops that were closer to my area because I used to go to Affinity Performance for my custom alignment, but they're about almost 30 minutes away from my house. I don't want to drive this with a whole new suspension like that. Unaligned all the way down there. This one's only about 10 minutes away from my house. Sorry for the noise, they're doing construction over there. But yeah, so it's pretty close. So I feel better, taking the car somewhere that's closer to me, getting it aligned, and just getting it done. So as for now, the only thing I have planned for today is obviously the alignment, like I just said. And then I'm going to the dealership to see if they have the nuts that I need for the sway bar. They go, down here, that connect to the body of the car, because obviously, the sway bar end links that I have fit perfectly fine. I already tested it with the struts. It's like any other sway bar end link for this car. It'll just fit perfectly like it did. I already tested it. So yeah, all I need is that, and then I can put it on. I was going to do that before, but I looked into it more. You don't even need the sway bar for the alignment. It won't do anything. So I'm going to get the alignment first, then go and get the nuts for the sway bar, and hopefully the dealership has it. If not, there is a kit on eBay that has the bushings to hold it in place, the bolt and the nut. So worst comes to worst, I'll just buy it on eBay and then just use the nut from there. And if it doesn't fit to that bolt, it comes with one that it'll fit on, so then I can just put that on there. Either way, car's gonna be perfectly fine again. There is a minor noise it's making in the back. I'm not sure what it is. I had everything up, everything was tightened. The noise was being made by the car before I even swapped out the shocks in the rear, but I don't know, so we'll see. But for now, I need to get this off, get a cold start, and then head to the shop. So all right, so car's ready to go. It is pretty dirty. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but has some spots. It's all just dust and stuff. This does a pretty good job in covering most of it, but some of the ash and stuff still gets in here. It's not as ashy anymore now, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and we'll head over to the shop. You can probably hear the belt chirping. It just does that right now, especially since I haven't been moving it. It sends it chirping, but if for whatever reason the belt ended up breaking, I do have a replacement one. I have a green belt. I just haven't swapped it on just because, I haven't had a need to. But for whatever reason, if it did end up, ripping, I do have one right here at my house. What I've learned with this car is if to own one, it's not just whatever, but like you really do have to have parts ready in case anything breaks. Obviously you don't I don't have one of everything of whatever can go wrong, but it's a learning experience owning this. It's not, or before it broke, it wasn't a Sunday driver kind of thing. I did drive this car every day. The springs have kind of settled. Let me show you guys how they sit right now. About like a finger gap, maybe a finger and a half. The rear though, I really like how this sits. It really is just one finger, same way on both sides. Roughly a finger gap on both sides. All right, y'all, we're heading over to the alignment shop right now. I'm trying to see if I can get you guys to hear the noise. I don't know. I don't think if that's a suspension noise or not. It sounds more like an interior rattle, but I'm gonna have to figure out what that is, and then fix that. But as of right now, the car is riding so smooth. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just update you guys once I get there, so I can drive with both hands. Alright, y'all, so while they do that, I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of these cars they have. and talk to you guys about the whip since they just lifted it up. So obviously they do have a few cars here. It's really close to my house. Bunch of 240s, 350s. But let's see. So what they were just telling me right now, they lifted it up the GT500. The whole rear end is pushed like this much forward, enough to where the tires get like enough angle to hit the front part of the opening, basically, you know, closer to like the side skirts. So it's hitting it there, and I didn't know where I was rubbing. I know it was rubbing, but I didn't know from where. But they just told me from where. I have an adjustable upper control arm. They said that if they move that a little bit, it might give me enough clearance. But they said it's not that big of an issue if I get adjustable lower control arms, which I don't have. I do have aftermarket ones from the previous owner, but I don't have adjustable ones. So if I get adjustable ones, let me get this good. If I get adjustable ones, they can adjust it so that it'll be perfectly fine. Not really a big issue. They're not really hard to install either. It's just 2 bolts on each one. But yeah, so if they can't do that right now, I'll end up doing that. Regardless, I'm probably gonna end up getting adjustable lower control arms in the future, if not soon, because of this problem. Besides that, they said everything else is cool. They should be able to align it from the front and the rear with the adjustable panhard bar to adjust the toe, but that should be perfectly good. It's just the lower control arms to adjust it, because the springs are like, instead of being like this, they're kind of like this. So it's barely anything, but it's enough to rub. Here, I'll show you guys on this car. It's enough to rub like right here, because see how this one's like even on both sides? Mine isn't, and it's causing it to rub. So I didn't know where it was rubbing. It wasn't rubbing from the top, because I was checking when I put the new shocks in, and it doesn't hit the top. I checked the rear, because at a tire shop they told me it was hitting from the rear, but it's not. And I was like, where is it rubbing from? And I guess it's rubbing from the front, so it's hitting like the fender closer to the door. So now that I know the issue and the fix, it's not that difficult of a fix. You know, I didn't come here thinking I was gonna have to buy something, but I don't have to buy it from them. They told me that just go buy it, put it on, and then we'll just adjust it for you. And you know, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. But for now, they're just doing their thing over there, and I'm just gonna wait around, you know. Look at some of these whips. But yeah, for now, just waiting. We're gonna see how it goes. All right, y'all, so the car's done now. I'm about to head over to the dealership. I'll talk about it more once I get home, but everything is good. I will be coming back to get some other work done, but as for right now, like, I'm just gonna head over to the dealership, see if they have those nuts that I need for my sway bar. If they do, great. If not, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I am gonna just order the kit from eBay. But yeah, I'm gonna just go real quick. Once I get home, I'll give an update of how the car turned out after the alignment, and why I'm coming back. But yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. Well, y'all, I went to 2 different dealerships. They both don't have them, so I'm just gonna end up ordering them online. They gave me the part number though, so I looked it up. I found them online already, so I'm just gonna go ahead, head home, and I'll update you guys on the Shelby. And here's the part number I need, so I'll just go ahead and do that, and then you know, just talk to you guys when I get home. All right, y'all, back home. Car runs great. Honestly, with the new suspension now, I still have all the boxes here, with the sport lines and the conies. I already had a great experience with them before, but now that I have them on this one, they ride so much smoother. And I think it's just been so long since I've had like a smooth riding suspension. The Vikings before were very, very stiff, even before they like died on me and were shot. And then the airlift kit on the 3-valve before that was fine. The only thing I didn't like was the noise of the compressor all the time, but it's because one of them was old. But back to this car, the sport lines ride amazing. As you can see, there's like barely any space. Like, it's sitting super nice. There's like no wheel gap. And what I like about this setup, which was what I was hoping for, is that it sits basically flush. Like, there's no rake on it. And if you guys don't know what rake is, it's when the back is like sitting a lot higher than the front. There might be a tiny bit, but it's almost non-existent. So the car looks just like lowered, like perfectly evenly, both front and rear. And I personally love that look. I was gonna go with the Ibach Pro kit because I was scared that the rear was gonna rub, and the rear was rubbing, but not for the reason I thought it was going to rub for. So it's not rubbing in the back, it's not rubbing on top. And you know, I've been hitting, no, not, I didn't hit any potholes, but it was like bouncing in the back, you know, at times where the road was really ugly. And you know, the rear wasn't rubbing. I could hear it rub before, and now it wasn't. And before, like I said, look, let me explain. So the problem I was having before was I didn't even have, see, now I have like 2 fingers of a gap. Before I couldn't even stick my pinky in there. And I don't know if you can tell, there's like little black smudge on there. That's where it was rubbing. And see, before I could fit about 3 fingers down here, and I can fit 2. So it's roughly the same distance now. So it was rubbing right there on both sides. And the problem was, I touched on it a little bit earlier, the upper control arm, and this was my fault from the beginning, but like I didn't know. So the way the previous owner had this car set up with the coilovers with the Vikings was he had them set to a certain height where the car had a lot of rake in the back. And so the upper control arm, which is adjustable, I think it's a BMR one, he had that adjusted to that specific height. And so when I dropped it and I slammed the coilovers, it messed all of that up. The drive shaft was a little bent, not bent like in a bad way, but it wasn't like perfectly straight how it's supposed to be. And so that was bent a little bit, and the whole back end was just a little bit tilted. Like I said earlier, instead of being like this, it was like this. So it was like the smallest thing, but it was enough to move the front, or to move the wheels about a quarter to a half of an inch, is a good amount, but it didn't look as bad. And then now the shop, my boy Chris over at Cali Custom Automotive, I'll drop his Instagram in the bio. Amazing dude, great pricing. Honestly, I've been to many shops before for a custom alignment, and he is by far the cheapest. And it's not like, oh, you get cheap work for cheap like price, you know. He does really great work. You know, I've been driving the car now for about like an hour, and it runs amazing. The only thing that the car does have, and this has nothing to do with his work, was one of the front wheels. When I bought them, the guy told me that he had trouble balancing one of the wheels. And so, you know, I've been having that same issue. I don't know if it's this one or that one, but the problem though, and I've noticed it's only these wheels, because I have other sets of wheels, is the steering wheel will shake because one of the front ones isn't properly balanced. And so I was already looking into getting another set of wheels. I love these wheels, but for the build plan that I now have for this car, they don't really go with the look I'm going to go for. Obviously they look nice, at least to me, how the car is sitting right now, but the car is not going to be sitting like this for, you know, much longer. I have plans to change a few things up. So these wheels, I might keep them, but they're not going to be my daily wheels anymore. And I think I mentioned it before, and if not, the engine is actually leaking a little bit of oil. He checked that out today. So it's leaking out of the gasket on the, technically my left side, but on the passenger side right here. I forgot what that thing is next to the valve cover. So on the valve cover on the passenger side, that gasket, I guess, is leaking. And so it's leaking a good amount of oil. Nothing excessive, but you know, nobody wants to leak oil. And he, like I said, I'm not going to be sharing his prices, but you can talk to him about that. But I'm just going to say, he quotes very well for the work he's doing. It's honestly pretty fair. You know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's also not expensive. He does price very fairly. And what I'm going to be looking into now, like I said, was I'm going back on Monday to the shop. And the reason I'm going back is he's going to be checking out the valve cover to see if like 100% before he starts to do anything, 100% that it's leaking from there. And if it is, I'm going ahead and buy the gasket, and they're gonna go and swap it out for me. And the car shouldn't be leaking anything anymore. Coolant, like the problem I had before, perfectly fine. No issues with that anymore. I just forgot and I didn't completely fill it up. So the main coolant tank is full, but the overflow tank doesn't have anything in it. So I have to put some in there just to make sure the car keeps having, you know, coolant, for lack of a better word. The car is perfect now. Mechanically, it's perfect besides the little oil leak that I'm gonna get fixed soon, probably next week. But yeah, I am going to put the cowl hood back on, but no, I'm not going to be selling this hood. I really like this hood, and if you're not buying it new, it's such a pain to find one. So I'm just going to keep it in case I ever want to switch it back on. But the cowl hood will be going on soon. I haven't bought the spoiler yet. I really like the look like this. As it sits right now, I really like this look, but not with the cowl hood. So I'm going to have to get a wing. But I already have the plan I have for the wing or the spoiler is like already set exactly what I want, and the hood, I already have the hood. So it's just really minor things besides those two that I'm going to be getting for the exterior. After that, I'll be focusing on the interior. But as of right now, the plan is do all the mechanical stuff first, because cosmetic, you know, it's just cosmetics, but the important thing is to make sure I have the Shelby running right. And you know, now we're really close to have it at 100%. So yeah, as soon as I get everything done mechanically, I'll do all the cosmetic stuff and we'll go on from there. That'll be it for this video. If you like the video, drop a huge like. The car should be ready fairly soon, and the cosmetics are about to be, you know, rolling in and putting them on the car. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure to check out for the next videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.